What's an unwritten rule about the road that new drivers should know? Don't trust a turn signal, but also don't trust the absence of a turn signal. In general, just assume the worst from everyone. Explained it to my son. Defensive driving is assuming every other driver is a dumbass until proven otherwise. Proving otherwise usually means they can't do anything stupid and get you into an accident. Yeah, the way I explained it was that the point of a normal driver's ed program is to teach people the literal rules, and if you learn them and follow them carefully, then at least when you get in an accident it shouldn't be your own fault. Defensive driving is learning to avoid accidents, and the risky behaviors/scenarios which can lead to them, even if you would have had the right of way for them, avoiding other people's mistakes, which isn't something driver's ed covers. Looking both ways even if you have a light that goes green, stopping farther back when you're coming up to an intersection, having an escape plan if the guy next to you tries to swerve through your lane to make it to that exit he realized he was about to miss. Recognizing that while merging traffic is supposed to yield to you if you're in the way, that you can reduce your risk of accident by yielding space and letting them in, especially if you're in a spot that they might not have noticed. There's a shocking number of drivers who don't mind getting into an accident as long as it's not their fault, even if it was technically avoidable, which I kinda understand. Defensive driving, as far as I know, started as a tool for service/professional drivers, limos and security escorts, to learn how to drive in a way that can avoid having their clients/employers' route interrupted. Since having an uninterrupted route was more valuable than just being in the legally defendable position for insurance and civil court purposes. Not to mention, even if you aren't at fault you still have to prove it. I was in a collision where we both turned left onto a road. They took it wide while I stayed in my designated center lane. They ran into me. After a month of him dodging insurance calls, he told the insurance company that I swerved into him, since no other witnesses stopped. And it was his word against mine. We were both deemed at fault. Also, lesson of the story, get a dash cam. Yes. See a right turn signal, don't just pull out in front of them thinking, oh, they are turning right, even though they are still going 45 miles per hour. Look for other signs, like slowing down and their car pulling a bit to the right. Don't just trust it. Edit, words. Edit again. The correct call would be waiting for them to complete the turn, as others have pointed out. I always wait, but I've been honked at multiple times for this. I would go even further and say wait for them to turn far enough that they can't bail out of it. I work at a place with a secondary parking lot with an entrance near, but not right next to, the main lot. I have lost count of how many times people not only signal too early but actually begin turning before quickly jerking the car back to straight. All while my car with incredibly bright turn signals is just sitting there, flashing away. Always leave yourself a way out. My mom taught me this as we lived near a rough neighborhood. Keep enough space between you and the car in front for you to get the peep out of there. Exactly. It's rule number 1 of defensive driving and super bonus. You won't ever be at fault or be picking up all of your teeth from smashing into someone's boot if you are rear-ended. While this is true, it's mind-boggling how many people try to squeeze into that spot that you leave yourself. Yes. I try to always leave enough room in front of me to get out if needed. But there's always someone squeezing his front quarter panel in there to try to squeeze in. Usually also blocking the right-hand turn lane in the process. Infuriating. Yes, you are right. A significant share of accidents are usually caused by impatient and inexperienced drivers with a propensity to weave and change lanes. Playing NASCAR without regard to safe distances. Always know what's around you. Know what cars are behind you or in the lane next to you, that way. If you feel you have to change lanes quickly, you know whether you can or can't. An old boss of mine used to put it this way, on the road. There's 5 people you need to be aware of at all times: the guy in front of you, the guy behind you, the guy directly to your right, the guy directly to your left, and the guy that comes out of peep nowhere, plus the car in front of the car in front of you. Green means legal, not safe. Assume everyone is a moron trying to crash into you. This right here. People routinely blast through the light where I take a left out of my neighborhood, like turning red, then a pause. Then my green, and I'm not even on the gas right away. that light has been red for quite some time. I literally watched someone get T-boned while going through a green light yesterday. It was kind of a small town intersection with a speed limit of like 35. This lady blasts through the red light doing at least 60 with not even a hint of slowing down, luckily. The dude in front of me was already mostly clear, so she just clipped the back of his pickup truck, both his airbags went off, but nobody got hurt. Lady gets out of her car and says, "Yeah, I've got a camera too, I ran the light, these things happen." I could not believe her audacity to admit what she did while simultaneously refusing to take responsibility. My mom was in a similar accident Saturday. Luckily her boyfriend saw the car at the last second and accelerated. Otherwise they would have hit her door straight on. She ended up in ICU with 7 broken ribs and had surgery to plate 5 of them on Tuesday. She's recovering very well luckily. Had he not hit the gas, she wouldn't be here. They were in a small little Subaru and the chick that ran the light was in a big Suburban or something. Her insurance, thank God she was insured, is gonna be paying out the ass. This is why I always look left right left again before crossing any intersection.